Hi, this is Dana Glazer. On March 15th, I videotaped our planning board, in which they discussed the settlement they had mediated regarding the Valley Hospital lawsuit. At that meeting, planning board attorney Gail Price shared with the public that they had negotiated a new hospital building height facade of 80 feet from the proposed 94 feet. That's a reduction of just 14 feet. The current height building facade is 48 feet. Also, the square footage of construction would be 961,000 square feet from the previous proposal of 995,000 square feet, a reduction of 34,000 square feet. Right now, Valley Hospital uses 405,000 square feet. Now, what Ms. Price didn't mention was the 5-story garage that's also going to be built as a part of this settlement. And how can this settlement be a reduction when, according to NorthJersey.com from February 2013, Valley Hospital's request for land use at that time was actually less than what the settlement is now? Something just doesn't seem right about this. So I thought it would be a good idea to meet a couple of guys who have been involved with this Valley Hospital fight before.
How you guys doing?
How are you?
Good.
Thanks.
Dana.
John Hertzberger. Hey Dana, Pete.
Pete, pleasure.
I've been involved for about 9.5 years so far.
I got involved about 4 years later, around 2010. Pete roped me into it.
Can you give like a brief history?
Yeah, what happened is the Valley came forward with a proposal in 2006 that they wanted to build, and they went to the planning board for master plan amendment. They got the council to write them a new law so that they could petition for a master plan amendment, and then the 2010 planning board gave them a master plan amendment. They gave them everything they had hoped for. And then in 2011, the village council took up the issues of writing a law or an ordinance to support this expansion, and we got something very unusual in Ridgewood. We got a unanimous vote, 5-0, to say that the village council did not agree that this was appropriate for Ridgewood. So that's where we were in round one. We went back to court and tried to get a settlement where we could have another try at the planning board and get them to see things a little more rationally. So that court case was settled, and we took another try at the planning board. And in 2014, that planning board voted 5-2 to say that the master plan amendment, even though it was smaller than the 2010 amendment, was inappropriate for Ridgewood. And we were feeling pretty good about our chances at that point. Right after that, Valley Hospital sued both the planning board and the village council for their decisions against them. And that's the case that's currently percolating through the courts.
So, as designed, the trucks will come off of Route 17 at Franklin Turnpike, come down here on Glen Avenue, happens to be the street I grew up on, and they will continue straight and make a left-hand turn, of course, up where BF is, and then they will pass in front of BF and pull into Valley Hospital right there. When they are done making their delivery or whatever they're doing, they will reverse. They will come out of the driveway, turn right onto Van Deen, cross in front of BF once again, and come back up this way. So, I mean, the epicenter of all this construction and vehicular traffic related to the development will be BF Middle School, for sure.
What we're looking at here is the BF schoolyard, and just to give you an idea of how that schoolyard is used during the day, the middle schoolers use it for phys ed all day long. Then after school, the high school students come here and they run track and field, both training and events, track meets, where kids come in from all around Bergen County to compete against them. And then on the weekends, these same fields are used for the little kids for Ridgewood Soccer Association, Ridgewood Lacrosse Association, Ridgewood Baseball and Softball Association. And they're going to be in that construction phase for at least 10 years. And then after it's done, right now you see the hospital building as it sits. And that facade that you're looking at is about 48 feet of facade, and then the rooftop mechanicals are set back a little bit further. The new building will be both much, much bigger at 80 feet, but it'll also appear much bigger because instead of being set back from the property line the way this is, it will be within 30 feet of the property line of BF. So down here at this corner is where the proposed parking deck is supposed to be. And again, it's supposed to be 5 levels, starting at ground level and going, I don't know if it's 5 including below grade or total. And it'll really be the dominant feature at this corner of the property. And I think the streetscape here will be materially changed with a parking deck at this corner. It'll be nothing like what we see today.
Plus, a parking deck is always, we had a planner who helped us, and he described it, it's always a beacon in the night. No matter what you do to try to dampen down the appearance or make it not as shiny, it's always going to be a beacon in the night. People will see it at all times. The north building is going to be roughly 50 or 60 feet higher than those trees that you're looking at right there. And it will be situated just 30 feet back from that fence line. We mentioned this before, but we're talking about 10 years of construction right here, right next to the middle school. And that's 3 generations of BF middle students going through their lives here with a construction project going on next door.
And to put the timing in perspective, when I started this fight almost 10 years ago, my youngest child was 5, and he will graduate from this middle school in about 2 months, 3 months.
If you're a parent of a child at, say, Travell or Paws or Somerville now, if your child is in 3rd grade or 4th grade, there's a good likelihood that your child is going to be one of the ones who has to endure this. And that's someone that those are people we want to reach out to and we think really need to understand what this is all about.
So please, share this video and let everyone in town know about this settlement and the upcoming public hearings on March 30th, 31st, April 4th, 5th, and 7th. For further information, please write to this address. Thanks for listening and for doing your part to protect Ridgewood.